Hello and welcome to another reading from the book That I May Know Him, a daily devotional. Today's reading is entitled Wonderful Simplicity of the Law, October 15th. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Psalm 19, verse 7. How wonderful in its simplicity, its comprehensiveness and perfection is the law of Jehovah. In the purposes and dealings of God, there are mysteries which the finite mind is unable to comprehend. But there is no mystery in the law of God. The feeblest intellect can grasp these rules to regulate the life and form the character after the divine model. If the children of men would to the best of their ability obey this law, they would gain strength of intellect and power of discernment to comprehend still more of God's purposes and plans. The infinite sacrifice which Christ has made to magnify and exalt the law testifies that not one jot or tittle of that law will relinquish its claims upon the transgressor. Christ came to pay the debt which the sinner had incurred by transgression, and by his own example to teach men how to keep the law of God. Said Christ, I have kept my Father's commandments. John 15:10. It is inconceivable how so many, professing to be servants of God, can set aside his law and teach sinners that they are not amenable to its precepts. What a false delusion! We are living in a land of bondage and of death. Multitudes are enslaved by sinful customs and evil habits, and their fetters are difficult to break. Iniquity, like a flood, is deluging the earth. Crimes almost too fearful to be even mentioned are of daily occurrence. Shall we say that all this is because men live in obedience to the will of God? Or is it because ministers and people hold and teach that its precepts have no binding force? God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that the lost might be reclaimed. He who has tasted and found that the Lord is good cannot bear the thought of following in the path of transgression. It is pain to him to violate the law of that God who has so loved him. Thank you for listening today. Be sure to join me tomorrow for another reading from the book That I May Know Him. Be encouraged.